Hello and thank you for watching our video. Today we're going to be unboxing the Cinemotion Posters player, doing the installation of the unit and configuration. Upon opening the magnetic flap on the front of the box, you'll find a leaflet there that thanks you for your business, of course, along with a QR code that takes you to our website, where you will find links to download the iOS and Android apps, as well as another that will take you to the web GUI on the unit that has been installed, as long as you make sure you're on the same Wi-Fi network. On the back is also our website if you should need any additional support or have questions. Inside, you'll find the poster player unit and power supply. On the back side here, we're going to be utilizing the Ethernet port, so we have a good hardwired connection. While the unit has Wi-Fi, this is the recommended approach. Additionally, on the side, you will find the USB port as a USB-C for power and HDMI. The power supply is just a USB power supply as noted and plugs into a wall outlet. We recommend a surge protector, of course. And next, we'll begin the installation. Next, we're going to connect the Cinemotion poster player to the TV. If you flip the right arm for Wi-Fi up, it will expose the HDMI and power connections. First things first, let's connect the Ethernet cable directly into the unit, as that is the recommended approach. On the side, where we flipped up the Wi-Fi arm, you'll make the HDMI connection, and immediately following that is the power from your USB-C power supply. Place the unit behind the display. If you have a recessed box, make sure it's properly ventilated. Otherwise, you can also use an industrial strength Velcro and attach it to the back of the display. Now we'll turn on the display and start going through the setup process. All right, now the poster is connected and we have some sample posters that will play along with top and bottom banners. Since the poster player is on the network and the laptop is also connected to the same network, we're going to go to the website with the QR code, or just go to cinemotionposters.com, go to the setup screen, and that is /setup. Scroll down and click start. That's going to take you to the graphic user interface of the poster player. Here you'll be greeted with the user agreement for our software, hardware, as well as download. In order to use the poster player, you have to accept that after you've reviewed it. After you've accepted the user agreement, the first thing you want to do is go to the update function, check for a firmware update, and go through the process of updating the operating system and app, and then you will have all the latest features. And then you're into the setup screens and menus. To start, you'll see playlist at the top, because that's what you'll use most often to go through and select what you want to watch. In this case, you can see action movies, Christmas movies, comedy, custom, drama, family, all kinds of playlists are made. These are some that we include standard. You can certainly create your own, and we'll show you how to do that. In addition, you'll see question mark next to each item that gives some additional input, so you'll have to go back and look at a user manual all the time. For the slide duration, 10 seconds is what we recommend at a minimum. Personally, I like 15 seconds, and the same 15 seconds is regarding the minimum video duration. So if you have a short video that is on a loop and you want to have a certain amount of time on screen, 15 seconds is what we recommend. But you can certainly go longer if you want the videos to loop longer. For motion posters, slide order refers to playing the slides in file name, alphabetical order, or random of playing, which is especially handy when you've got multiple playlists selected. And then of course last would be the controls. I hit the back arrows to the left. That's going to go back to the previous poster. Play and pause that will pause the image on the one that's currently playing, and then the next is the arrows to the right. Just a special note, you play the movie poster and you decide to pause it, you will see a little pause symbol on screen during that time. If you would like to play a movie poster by itself without having a pause symbol on the screen, then we recommend that you create a feature presentation poster or whatever you want to have for the evening and put that poster image in that playlist, and then just select that playlist only. To do that, you would unselect multiple playlists and just choose the playlist that you want would be featured presentation, and it will just play that poster and never change from it. In this case, we're going to go back to multiple playlists. Here, under settings, this is where we want to be initially. If you were to connect to Wi-Fi, you would do that here, but we really want to focus on keeping the connectivity the most reliable for both the end user and setup. So that's why we also recommend the hardwired connection. Here you can change the name. So for example, if you have more than one poster, you could have poster left, poster right, that sort of thing. Power, this is the recommended approach. Either the power button, which has a 60-second delay on the side of the unit, or the power symbol here in the app, and that's a proper way to shut it down. We do not recommend just simply unplugging the unit or powering it off through a IP-controlled surge protector unless it's absolutely necessary. Also, placement of the unit when installing is preferred to be in a well-ventilated space. So putting it inside a wall cavity, like a recessed box with another device that gets really hot, like a cable box or a One Connect box from Samsung Spring TVs, will cause the unit to get really warm, and you could experience playback issues if there's not good ventilation there. Placing the unit where it's also easily accessible is recommended as well. Getting back to the reboot functions here. So again, if you just need to reboot for some reason, and rotating the display, so you put your display up, you hook up the unit, and the image is upside down. That's what you would use this button for. System time, you're going to set your region here as well as the time and go from there with wherever you are. Overlays, so when I get into this screen, overlays activation is what gives me the top and bottom banners. So if I turn those off, you'll see the poster fills the entire screen. It stretches the image. If I turn the banners back on, then I get proportionate poster along with the animated banners top and bottom. This is where I can select the banners that you want to display, and we have a whole bunch of them available for you at no additional cost. You can go right to our server and download them right through the app. I'll show you how to do that as well. Same thing for bottom banners. And here's where you can upload your own if you want to create your own. Again, within this space, we tell you how large to make the banners, what file types are a proper format. Same thing for the upper. I click on that and you'll see that as well. I can choose where I want to upload, top or bottom, and then put the file in and away to go. From there, I can also get into managing the overlays. So I click on here, I can preview what this overlay is, I can rename it, or I can delete it. When I'm done, I hit the arrow at the top left and go back. And I referenced earlier about being able to download from our server. Here's where you can do that. So downloading top banners, once they all load, you can see I can go through and select which one I want to download and continue on that path, and then go back when I'm done. Same thing for the bottom banners and rekey. Next we go to upload, and this is where all of our playlists are located. I can create another playlist here simply by choosing the plus button, then going over to playlist name. I type in my playlist, we'll just call it Fun Films, and I hit create playlist, and there it is. If I want to get rid of that or rename it, I can do that here, or I can delete playlist. Gives me confirmation, and now it's gone. Under the gear wheel for each respective playlist name, same thing, I can preview a poster. So if I wanted to look at Aquaman poster, I could do that. If I wanted to change that poster or rename it, this is the area to do that as well, and delete it and then upload the new one. Moving on to TMDB, we have two ways to search posters. One is the search engine that's included through Bing. The other is TMDB. So for TMDB, the movie database, you will need a personal API license key, and this question mark here will give you the instructions on how to do that right within the user interface. Once you have that API, you'll copy and paste it into here and then hit set. From there, you can choose where you want the poster to be downloaded. You can search terms, genre, or upcoming movies. Here's your search terms here as well. And click search, and the posters will be displayed here. You click on that poster that you want, and it will upload to whatever file folder has been selected here for the playlist. Next up is the Kaleidescape plugin. Once you click on that, if there is a player or two on the network or more, it will find them. If a password is detected to be able to access the players, you'll enter that here and hit set. Once you do, it will display the player or players that are on the network, and then you choose the one that you want the poster to connect with. Once that connection has been established, you can choose now playing. That is going to allow the Cinemotion poster to display the movie poster of the movie that you're watching. So if you are watching a playlist of different posters that you've curated and you begin playing the movie in your media room, that's what's going to allow it to flip over. And likewise, as you'll see further down, the banners can change and on the top and bottom, and you can also have the display dim or brighten depending on if it's adjacent to the theater. So if it's in a hallway and there's an open access to the theater and it's letting in too much light, you can lower the display. It lets you know that a new dim level has been set, or you can keep it at full bright if it's in a concession area or lobby. Here's where you would choose between Bing and TMDB for your poster source. And once the Kaleidescape has been connected, you simply click Start Downloading Posters. That will go out and find all the posters and curate the images. From there, you can get into Poster Editor, and if there's a poster that you would prefer to have a different version of, or maybe it found an obscure version like a Japanese poster, but it's an American movie and it found the Japanese version, you could change the poster simply by clicking Replace. You've already downloaded the poster from TMDB or another location on the internet into your computer, and you can simply replace it by clicking here and locating it in the drive on your computer. Likewise, if you don't want that poster because maybe you've got rid of the movie and deleted it off your server, you can delete it here as well. As a heads up, the poster player will go out online every night and search for new movies that have been downloaded to the Kaleidescape server, and then you can expect to see those in the next morning. Likewise, you can also go in and force the player by hitting Start Downloading Posters again, and that can be done here, but more importantly, for the end user, once the system is all set up, you can do that right through the app, which mirrors everything that we're seeing here. Feature presentation, coming soon, now showing, whatever you want to have selected for both top and bottom banners. When the movie begins, the banners will change along with the poster. When the movie ends and the credits begin rolling, or you hit stop, the movie will switch back to your playlist. Going on to preview, this is going to give us what is currently playing on the screen, both the banners and the poster, a live view. So if you were on the app, for example, and you wanted to see what is playing, that's how you could confirm that. Likewise, there are the forward, back, and play pause. About is just going to give you a copy of the user agreement. That is all for the interface. Next will be how to use the app. But for setting up an initial configuration, this is definitely the recommended approach. We're going to connect to the Cinemotion poster player through the app. Upon opening the app, you'll find the player listed. Once it scans for it, connect to it, and then it opens the home page.
From there, you'll see a list of options: playlist, banners, upload, the movie database, TMDB, Kaleidescape, settings, and preview. We'll start with playlist. In this section, you'll see an option for multiple playlists. As you can see by the titles that have been curated here, these playlists have posters within each one of them that are representative of their category. You can choose multiple playlists or a single. If you want a single playlist, choose which one that you'd like, and there you go. In this case, we have multiple, so you can choose any or all of these that you'd like. Will now be included simply by selecting or deselecting or enabling or disabling. Further down the screen, you'll see slide duration. Typically, we prefer 15 seconds for a slide or a poster to be played back, but you may want 30 seconds or a minute or more. Likewise, minimum video duration, well, that refers to the motion posters. Typically, we like 20 seconds because sometimes motion posters are longer than others, so you don't want it to run out beforehand. Slide order is going to refer to random playback, and also disabling that sets it to alphabetical. So as your files are listed, that's how it'll play back in each poster. And then here are the controls. So if you're standing in front of your poster sign, you can choose to go backwards, play or pause, or go forward a poster. Next, we'll talk about banners. Banners are the top and bottom portions of the Cinemotion poster display. They help to fill the entire screen image, but also create some excitement at the top and bottom. And there are multiple images that you can choose from, or you can also create your own. In this case, you can also choose to disable the banners, but please note that will elongate your poster image to fill the screen. The banners also allow for the poster to stay to true form. You can upload banners or overlays. There are specifications here in terms of size if you'd like to create your own, as well as format. If you want to manage your banners, you can do so here as well. For example, I can look at the top banners and I can rename them. I can preview it, delete it, whatever I like to do. If I would like to download banners from the Cinemotion poster server, I can do that here as well. Once you've uploaded your banners, you can choose from any of those that you would like. Selecting a banner is simple. Just touch it and it loads. Same thing for the lower level banners. Choose the one you want. The changes are immediately reflected on the Cinemotion poster display. Next, we'll talk about the upload section. This is where you'll upload various movie posters to your playlists. Likewise, scrolling down, you'll find where it says Create Playlist. With every option, there's a question mark. That question mark is your helpful tip. If I want to upload more Christmas posters, I can do so again from my options that are available through the app. Likewise, if I want to rename the playlist or delete it, or I want to review what the poster looks like, I can do the same thing and change it there or delete it. Next, we're going to discuss the TMDB or the movie database plugin. In this section, you can enter a personal API license so that you can look up movies and download their posters by all kinds of genres, you name it. To do so, to start, you will want to follow the instructions on the helpful tip and get the API license, the read access token, and then download it and copy and paste it in this section and hit set. Once you've done that, you can choose where you want your poster image to be loaded to. Choose any one of your playlist options, and then you can search a term, genre, upcoming films, you name it. Type it in here, hit search, and then it will display the poster. From there, you will hit save, and it will upload to the playlist you've selected. Let's review the Kaleidescape plugin. In this section, again, every option has a helpful tip by choosing the question mark. We will presume that the Kaleidescape has already been configured within the PC interface, as that is the recommended approach. In this case, you can see the Kaleidescape is connected, which player it is. If you have more than one player, you can choose a different player. Now playing refers to the ability for the Cinemotion poster display to switch to a now playing poster that it is downloaded from your Kaleidescape library. Likewise, it will also change the banners. Before we get to that, you'll see dim while playing as an option. That allows you to adjust the brightness level of the Cinemotion poster, and it shows you down here new dim value set. Once you've set the dim while playing level, when the movie begins to play, the display will dim to that level, and when you stop playback or the movie is ended, it will return to the normal brightness level for your playlists, and those will resume as well. Poster source, if you have the TMDB plugin API license, you can choose that, or Bing as a standard search. Get movie posters, that is what you're going to do after you've entered all of your credentials. This is typically done, again, through the PC interface as the recommended approach upon initial connectivity. However, let's say that you have downloaded some new movies today and you want those posters to be displayed immediately, then you could choose start downloading posters, and those images would show up momentarily within your app, and they're ready for playback when the now playing is engaged. Poster editor, this is what allows you to see all of the posters that you have curated in your Kaleidescape library. You can touch an image if you would like to replace it or delete it. To replace the image, you'll simply go to the location where you have that poster image, the new one, saved, and then download it and install it from there, simply by choosing the image and then hitting save. Returning to the Kaleidescape plugin, you'll see options for top and bottom banners under the Now Playing section. Here, you can choose which banner you would like to be displayed of those that you've downloaded, simply by selecting the one that you'd like. Same thing for the bottom banner, and that's all there is to it. Returning to the main menu and going into settings, you can have the IP address shown on the display. If you're trying to find out what that is to set up a new one, let's say you got a new router and you want to locate it easily, then you can disable it afterward. Wi-Fi for connectivity, if you're choosing that route over Ethernet. As mentioned earlier, we always recommend hardwiring with an Ethernet cable to your network switch or router. You can rename the display. For example, you can call it Cinemotion Lobby or Cinemotion Theater, whatever you'd like to call it. If you have more than one display, that's where this becomes really handy, because whatever you type in here is also what will be visible on your network. For power, this is the recommended approach to shut the display down properly versus just pulling the power cord and potentially corrupting the unit. Likewise for rebooting, this is the recommended approach for rebooting the unit. Rotating the display is going to help you if you have an image that's upside down. Just touch that and it'll rotate the image with each press. Forced 1080p resolution, that is used when you have a 1080p display instead of a 4K. On occasion, we've run into that, and that is why this is an option. It will reboot the unit upon selecting it, and then once it comes up, you should see it working perfectly on your 1080p display. Setting the time zone, this is also recommended. You'll choose your region and then the time, and that will assist with firmware updates as well as other system features that we have built in for programming to look for movie posters each night on your Kaleidescape server and so forth. Checking for a firmware update is very easy. You just do that right here. You click for check for an update. It will tell you if there's an update found, and then it'll reboot the device afterwards. So we'll go ahead and choose OK, and then we choose update again. Once the update is complete, it will say done. And then from there, the device will reconnect and we'll be able to access it again through the app. Once the update is complete, you go back into the board, go to settings again, scroll down, and now we can go to about, check the user agreement. All the information for that is found there. Last is the preview. If you'd like to see what is currently playing on the movie poster, you can choose that. You can also advance to the next poster. You can go back a poster, and you can even pause the poster. So if you want that image to stay there. As a side note, the image will show a play pause symbol while the image is paused. Once you're ready to unpause the image and begin normal playback, hit it again, and then the image will continue on. through your playlist. Going back to the main screen, the other area that you can find the preview is under your playlists. I select playlists and I scroll down. If I'm standing in front of the posters, I can review what's on screen and advance through those in the same fashion.